and welcome back to another episode of Dungeon Raid. And with me today, I have once again Mia, and I also have Mototo. Is that how you pronounce it? And
Zaraya.
Zaraya.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining me today. We are going to be doing Tam-Tara Deepcroft, and we're going to be trying to do it quickly but intensively by going over all the chest locations and boss strategies as we go through. Now, this is my first time doing it in the game since beta, but I think we'll be fine. And with that, is everybody ready?
I'm ready.
As ready as I'm going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well then, in that case, away we go.
Last one in is Soul Flare's lunch.
Oh, just FYI, I do mark targets, 1 through whatever. And I...
That's perfectly fine.
That's perfect.
Once again, we'll try to keep it as spoiler-free as we can as we go through, but we are still going to discuss some of the points that we find as we go. Like, this dungeon is being filled by a group called the Lambs of Dalamud, which is a cult that appeared in the End of an Era section of the game in 1.0. And the cult basically decided at this point that since, well, Dalamud didn't do what it was supposed to do and their god failed, that it was their job now to avenge the death of their god, and so they are planning to kill everybody.
Yay! I mean, wait.
Now, you'll probably notice that both Moto and Zaraya, are wearing probably better gear than they should for this. This is what is referred to as level syncing. They are a higher level than the actual dungeon, so when they come in, it actually lowers their gear and their stats down to that level. And I am experiencing some minor video lag here. Alright, after these foes, we're just going to take... There we go. Okay, now I'm back up to good frame rate. Alright, sorry about that. As you can see here, there is 4 beams of light. The primary goal is to take care of those 4 orbs that will keep those lights shining. Just a moment here, folks. There we go, that's a little better. Sorry about that. For those of you who are just wondering, I turned down the Skype volume in the background a little bit. Yeah, we are using Skype instead of a Mumble push-to-talk system at the moment. I don't have a personal Mumble server, but once I get one up and available for recording programs like this, we'll be seeing more of that in use. Now, you'll notice Zaraya is using a different type of pet than I am. Zaraya, would you care to explain more?
Oh, I'm actually using the scholar job right now, and my pet is Eos. Currently, it's a fairy that has a heal. It's the primary so-called attack is a heal, and it also has an AOE regen for the whole party around it.
It's very useful as a support healer. Obviously, it doesn't quite replace the White Mage for pure healing, but it is good as both a secondary type of healer and a healer over time class.
It also has no Asuna, so we're probably still gonna need a White Mage for the bigger raids. because we cannot actually heal statuses.
And status effects become kind of a big thing later on in the game.
Pretty much Scholar and Might Mage are designed to complement each other.
Exactly. So you're probably going to want both for when you're doing some higher end stuff, but for lower end content, it is okay to bring either or.
I actually am using EOS. There's another one called the Celine, and Celine actually has it's more of a support healer because it has a spell haste and a skill haste ability for the whole party. But I'm currently using the EOS fairy because it actually gives it actually cannot use the buff right now because I'm too low level to use it.
Yeah, because we are capped at 18 for this dungeon. Now you'll notice in here, this is the first treasure coffer of the dungeon. I'm going to set my chat bar to battle so it doesn't have any kind of chat spam from any link shells in here. Alright, let's take a look what we got from our first chest. So this is going to be more pieces, like 10 pieces and such.
Typically the brown chests will have like little money pieces in there, no actual gear on the average.
You'll typically find 2, maybe 3 money chests in the run of a dungeon, and then some of the item chests will actually be either items or money. Yeah, everything seems to be flowing a lot better now with recordings, so I'm not sure why I was having the frame rate issues at the beginning.
Seems to be something with the dungeon, I believe.
Here's the second treasure coffer. Once again, more pieces. And we are coming up on the first boss fight. Moto, would you care to go over some strategy?
Alright, so he has 2 imps in there, and he has...
Hello?
Did we lose you?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh,
We got
sorry,
you
my
back
mouse
now.
kind of trips out sometimes. Anyways, it's probably best to fight this by taking out the imps first. That's usually what I do in a party, and taking out the priest last. I usually mark them, that way you can figure out which ones to kill.
Alright, so we're going to take care of the imps first, and Moto's going to tank the priest and try to keep the imps as best under control. So, let's roll.
And then the one that comes up afterwards, we just burst them down. There's gonna be another mob that comes up afterwards.
I wonder what it's going to be. Alright, so both imps are down. Let's take down the priest. Ooh! I'm gonna run up. I know it's gonna be a little bit dangerous, but hey, look at that. That looks pretty cool. That looks like the demon race from Final Fantasy 11.
Yep. Kindred.
thing to keep in mind is that when this boss or when this mob does a conal AoE, it'll show up on the ground as a red cone. The tanks can actually stun it if they have it. Right now, mine's not up. But it'll prevent them from using whatever skill they're trying to use.
So that's another good strategy for the higher end stuff. And you see that ability or any other red circle ability, you do have a chance to stun it, unless, of course, the monster is resistant to stun.
You can also use silence for certain mobs as well. It will actually interrupt the casts as well.
Alright, so that's a blue coffer, so that's definitely going to be gear.
I pass. Already have
Yeah,
it.
that's as well.
I pass. Unless if you guys,
The body piece I have is better, so I'll greet it.
can I need it for vanity?
Go right ahead.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Now, we have to destroy the orb in order to continue on. This is a lot better than in beta, because in the beta, it didn't let you, it would keep you in here but back in the beta, it did not. So, you could keep going and completely forget which orb that you missed. And that would eat a lot of time going back. My tongue got tied there. I apologize.
If you see that, my EOS just used the AoE regen.
Yep, you can see on the status bar here, Whispering Dawn.
Uh-oh, we actually got 4.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, usually there's
Well, we can handle it.
usually there's a patrol here. The varlet will patrol on here.
Yep.
Yep, we can just see him poking his head around the corner there. There we go.
None for worse to wear.
There's our next treasure coffer. Well, my earring just dropped to 0, which means it actually gives me no status bonus whatsoever. But seeing as how it is a level 1 earring with no status bonus, that's really not going to make much of a difference on my gear.
Speaking of which, I should change my shield because it's almost about to break.
Alright, we got a set of mage bracelets in the pool.
Well, I will probably need those.
Passed.
Oh, there we go.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And my mage bracelets were starting to break anyway, so works out.
Yeah, a little tidbit. In addition to getting ahead of the tank is not a good idea, so also getting too far behind the tank is not necessarily a good idea either.
Because you could get caught in between a rock and a hard place, so to speak. In this dungeon, there are mob patrols, so if you're trying to bypass some of them, it's not exactly a good idea to run too far behind your tank or too far in front. And this dungeon seems to be loaded with coffers this time around. I don't remember them being this generous in beta. That is a money coffer.
And an item coffer at the same time. 10 pieces and a potion.
Well, there we go.
And a boss fight coming up.
So this fight is pretty much exactly the same as last time. It just has one more imp.
Alright.
Fortunately, imps are pretty squishy.
Yes, very fortunate indeed. I wonder, are these guys resistant to drain like they were in 11 or no?
No, I can drain their MP from them. Or drain MP from them with Riot Blade at least.
Yep, so can I. There's another item coffer.
What I'm actually using is actually better than that, so...
Alright, well, if you don't need it, go ahead and greet it, or... Because I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, because I'm also, for archer-wise, I'm also out-leveled for the dungeon anyways as well, so...
Alright. Well, we took care of the orbs, so let's continue on. So we have 2 of the 4 orbs down. I'd say we're making some significant progress here. What would you guys say?
Yeah, it's gone pretty quick.
We're moving at a pretty good clip.
Now, in version 1 of the game, this wasn't a dungeon so much as it was just a bunch of ruins you could explore. What do you guys think of the change?
I really like it. I like the fact that they changed a lot of the old places that were basically filler and didn't have really anything associated with it, and really attached some lore and a bunch of other things to it. It's made the game feel a lot more deeper.
Even though you can't explore them on a regular non-dungeon quest type thing?
I don't really mind it so much, but that again, yeah, is kind
Well,
of the drawback to it, I guess.
Yeah. What they also did was actually took dungeons that did exist in 1.0 and, for most part, revamped them. Easy example is Todorok.
Yeah, well, I think that's the next dungeon on the list,
Nope,
isn't
next
it?
is Copperbell.
Alright, well then, Copperbell will be next, and then we'll continue on from there. Obviously not tonight. But, don't worry, everybody, we will be doing all the dungeons. So, everyone will get a chance to see what all of them are like. And if it takes me a few tries to get a few of them down, don't feel disappointed. That's why I'm probably going to only be releasing Dungeon Raid about once, maybe twice a week. Because as you guys know, I am a legacy character and I do have 50s, but I am trying to go through the game as best I can with Arcanist, which is, as of now, only level 20. So I'm trying to experience the content as fresh as I can, just like everybody else. Now, if anyone is ever interested in participating in a Dungeon Raid, my series, I do play on Balmung, and all you have to do is hit me at the tell, or you can send me a message on YouTube and just let me know that you want to participate. And the next time I start up a dungeon run, I will definitely look for you. Obviously, we do have to keep Square Enix's rules in effect, which means there would be no foul language or anything like that. So, if you're more of a if you're one of those people with kind of a loose tongue like that, just if you want to participate, just make sure you can keep that in check for the duration of the run. I can hear Moto already trying to close up, going like, oops, I shouldn't say anything.
So far, this dungeon doesn't really isn't really heal intensive. It's not really hard to heal.
The group, yeah, it looks like the mob groups are broken up very nice and small, so that way you don't get overwhelmed unless you accidentally run into somewhere you're not prepared for.
But Essie has been known to throw curveballs, so you never quite know.
Well, remember, there was that guy who walked around the corner earlier, so there might be something like that further down the road in here. And we got another coffer in here. If I remember correctly, I believe this is another Alagon Peace coffer. No, it is an item coffer.
That's actually a
What have
pretty
we
nice
got?
shirt.
Ethereal Cotton Tabard.
I already have it, actually.
I guess I'll agree that I don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I picked mine up in
Awesome.
Sastasha.
it looks like I got it. And yes, it does play that little chime every time you get an item. Or at least every time you get a loot item from the list. Now, if you're wondering why I'm casting my Miasma before the counter runs out, is because these are what's normally known as trash mobs. So, trash mobs don't have really any resistance, and they die very quickly. So it's easier for me just to keep it up there and refresh it partway through, rather than trying to let it run down and then have to pop it on again just before the monster dies.
Ooh, like I said, curveball.
Indeed. But if you look, there's a barrier there in front, so we can't go straight in. Ack. Hi, aggro.
As we said, this is why you watch out for trolls. Because sometimes you don't have to go to the mobs. Sometimes the mobs come to you.
We're gonna have to find a way to break this sealed barrier. So I guess we'll have to continue on and then head back after we're done.
Especially as you notice that both energy beams are coming out of this one area instead of being two separate areas.
Oh, let's take a look. Yep, as you can see on my screen now, both of them are coming out of this area.
And if you can see, one of the lamps here, it actually has a unique name.
Octaval the Unforgiving.
So that means it's definitely a mini-boss, or at least the big boss. But we'll take a look and when we get down there. Oh, there's a rosary. Maybe we can use that to break through. Because, you know, rosaries are supposed to break barriers. Honestly, I'm not sure where that came from, but it's a common belief in a lot of different cultures, isn't it?
And it was even incorporated into 11.
This is actually one of the tougher mobs. Because there's actually quite a few of them.
Yeah, and they're all heavy hitters. So you do need to keep an eye out for that.
I was a bit lax earlier in the fight, and then I actually let my total drop below 50%. It's my fault.
Yeah, in fights like this, the tank should be rotating their defensive moves to mitigate as much damage as they can. It's as a gladiator, we don't have a whole lot of HP compared to, say, a marauder, but we have a lot of defense moves, and that's where it comes into play.
Alright, so let's use that rosary and let's break that barrier. Now, as you can see, there are now 4 imps, and there's the Unforgiving. So we're going to take care of these imps right quick. One more Gravedigger to go.
And now for the fun part.
Now there's that demon again. This one's a little tougher than the last one.
And we're just getting started. We got the big one coming up.
Alright. So, we've got 2 of these orbs. Let's take care of these.
Let's check the copper real fast. People might recognize this cutscene from the trailers and the benchmark videos.
And we have a soul flare. Alright, while we're loading on this item, Moto, would you care to go over some basic strategy?
So he does a bunch of range magic casting stuff. He'll cast water at primarily me because I'll be holding hate. After a while, imps will start spawning, much like they kind of were earlier, except this time the imps will have a tether from him to the imp. And while the imp is up, he takes no damage. So you had to kill the imp in order to damage him again. After a while, he'll start spawning a bunch of other mobs too, and you want to kill those.
Now, do the other mobs have the tether as well, or is it just the
Yeah,
imps?
it's only just the imps. He'll spawn skeletons, and I think dynamites, and those don't have any tether at all. So you can just kill those and get on your way.
Alright then. Well, let's step inside the barrier, rebuff, and continue. Yeah, as you can see on my screen, you can actually see the tether. So that way you do know where the imp is.
It's bright purple. If you haven't noticed it.
Alright, keep it up, guys. We're getting them down pretty quick.
I think you can... Oh, there we go.
Now, I'm not sure if he spawns the imps at certain percentages. Or if it's just over time. If anybody knows, please feel free to comment in the description or in the box below and let us know, so that way next time I do a dungeon run with this area, I'll be able to properly inform everybody. And we should be getting another tether here in a second.
Oh,
AoE.
I think now we can use the limit break once we get to level 2.
Yes, let's wait for a level 2, and then, do you want me to use
Yeah,
it?
because I don't think anyone. I think everyone else uses a heal or a defense limit break.
Mine's an offense.
But yeah, but you're an archer, so you probably use the heal. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, the limit break for archer is actually the heal, so I'm not sure why.
Yeah, healer and ranged, HP restoration, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Probably has to do with the fact that Archer becomes Bard.
We'll probably see them change it maybe down the line. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably if they add another ranged class that's more DD oriented, they'll change that. Okay, let's get out of that circle. Speaking of circles, it's not the only one.
And
Yeah, I'm on trash patrol at the moment. Except for that.
That was the limit break. It just cleared out.
That was a level 2 limit break.
Meteor shower, I believe.
That was indeed Meteor Shower.
Starstorm or Sky Shower.
Very good job, everyone.
Nice work, guys.
Thanks work.
And I leveled.
Congrats.
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 2 dungeons, 2 dungeons, 2
Alright.
levels. Not bad.
Not bad at all. Alright, let's take a look at our victory chest, everyone.
What do we got? Ooh,
Oh,
Foe Striker's
that's what I was.
Mitts.
That's actually what I've
Very
been looking
nice.
for.
Alright, in that case, I will hit pass. Okay, and I'm just going to get in my usual pose here. Alright, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. As always, you can leave any positive or negative comments in the box below. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow me on Twitter at NailCelestine. And if you have any questions, comments, or if you'd like to be a guest on the show, or if you want to just chat it up and be participation in either Good Morning Eurasia or Dungeon Raid, you can send me a YouTube private message or leave a comment on the official Lodestone topic. As always, this is Nail Celestine and my crew for the day, bidding you adieu.